Here we have the 2022 Ridge Estate Chardonnay. Now the 22 vintage was rather warm. The flavors, the concentration of this wine are representative of that warm vintage. What that brought were smaller berries with higher concentration of flavor and intensity, which is a winemaker's dream actually. Now that means lower yields unfortunately, but the quality of this wine is quite stellar. And we'll take a look at it now. So not only did we have warm season in 2022 and lower yields, but it actually worked out to be quite a blessing with record-breaking heat on Labor Day weekend. Forced us to pick rather quickly in order to retain the balance and the natural acidity that we find in this wine. Now that natural acidity, of course, comes from the limestone soils that we see up here on the mountain. It's kind of a hallmark of this wine. It's very prevalent in not only in the aromas, but the flavors of the wine. Sharp, bright, crisp acidity and beautiful fruit. This is 100% Chardonnay, and it is 100% estate. Now, the thing with this wine that makes it a little bit unique is that we source the fruit from various elevations on the mountain. So we have 3 different parcels ranging from 1,400 feet elevation all the way up to 2,600 feet. With that also comes different variations of slope, aspect to the sun, soil profiles. There are different clones, etc. So we pick all of these parcels separately, and this year there were upwards of 9 parcels that went into this, picked separately, fermented separately, and then eventually blended to create this beautiful wine. So vinification-wise, this wine is produced in the same manner every year, and that is that we pick the fruit and we put it into the press as whole clusters and lightly squeeze until we achieve the beautiful color and acidity that we're after. Now this wine, it does see 15 months in oak, mostly neutral American oak, with about 15% new and a small percentage, maybe 5% of French oak in there, but the majority neutral French. And it is aged on the lees, so Surly's aging with lees stirring, batonnage throughout the malolactic process. Another thing to note with this wine, as with all of our wines, this is indigenous yeast, natural fermentation, as well as natural malolactic bacteria fermentations. So no intervention whatsoever in the cellar. A pure, natural, organic, beautiful Chardonnay. Some of the characters that I get from this are this lovely citrus notes with some lemon rind, dried apricots, beautiful white flowers, really quite viscous on the entry, but with a beautiful natural acidity that carries the wine through to a long and juicy finish. It's showing really beautifully right now upon release, so go ahead, enjoy, but it will develop further over the next 7 years. Cheers.